I cut off a man's nose once. I don't recall exactly when it was, 1719 or thereabouts, nor where. But it happened during a raid on a Spanish brig. We wanted her supplies, of course. I pride myself on keeping the jackdaw well stocked. But there was something else on board too. Something we didn't have but needed. Someone, to be precise. A ship's cook. Our own ship's cook and his mate were both dead. Cook's mate had been caught pissing in the ballast, which I didn't allow, so punished the traditional way by making him drink a mug of the crew's piss. I must admit I've never had it happen before where the mug of punishment piss actually killed the man, but that's what happened with the cook's mate. He drank the mug of piss, went to sleep that night and never got up. Cook was all right by himself for a time, but he did like a nip of rum, and after a nip of rum was apt to take the night air on the poop deck. I'd hear him clomping about on the roof of my cabin, dancing a jig. Until one night I heard him clomping about on the roof of my cabin and dancing a jig, followed by a scream and a splash. The bell rang and the crew rushed to the deck where we dropped anchor and lit lanterns and torches. But of Cook there was no sign. They had lads working with them, of course, but they were just boys. None of them knew how to do anything more culinary-minded than stir the pot or peel some spuds. And we'd been living on raw grub ever since. Not a man among us knew how to do so much as boil a pot of water. Now, not long back, we'd taken a man of war. A tasty little excursion from which we'd bagged ourselves a brand spanking new broadside battery and a hold full of artillery, cutlasses, pikes, muskets, pistols, powder and shot. From one of the captured crew, who then became one of my crew, I'd learnt that the Dons had a particular supply ship on which served an especially adept cook. Word was that he'd cooked at court but offended the Queen and been banished. I didn't believe a word of that, but it didn't stop me repeating it, telling the crew we'd have him preparing our meals before the week was out. Sure enough, we made it our business to hunt down this particular brig, and when we found it, lost no time in attacking it. Our new broadside battery came in handy. We drew up alongside and peppered the brig with shot till she broke, the canvas in tatters, and the helm splintered in the water. She was already listing as my crew lashed and boarded her, scuttling over her sides like rats, the air heavy with the stink of powder, the sound of muskets popping and cutlasses already beginning to rattle. I was in among them, as always, cutlass in one hand and my hidden blade engaged, the cutlass for melee work, the blade for close finishing. Two of them came at me, and I made short of the first, driving my cutlass into the top of his head and slicing his tricorn in half as the blade cleaved his head almost in two. He went to his knees with the blade of my sword between his eyes, but the problem was I'd driven it in too deep, and when I tried to wrench it free, his writhing body came with it. Now the second man was upon me, terror in his eyes. Not used to fighting, obviously, and with a flick of the blade I sliced off his nose, which had the desired effect of sending him back with blood spraying from the hole where his beak had been.